everybody on this holiday weekend here in Dent Time. We are closed. I'm just happened to do a demonstration here about some of the tools I purchased at Anson and at the open house. This is the brand is Dent Craft, and I'm going to talk about these tools. And if you are sticking around, I'm going to talk about the different lights that you see going around and reflection boards. Those are the key to paintless dent repair. You don't see a PDR tech working without one, right? You just don't. Maybe in the beginning of pulling stages or lateral tension, but to finish and to get that dent really, really clean, it's going to matter about the reflections, right? So that's what we're going to go over a little bit of that. We're going to do a little demo and then call it a day. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. I'll be more than happy to do that. If you are considering learning PDR from scratch, I really recommend denttrainer.com. Go check it out. If you're looking for personal PDR training, go to my website, denttime.com, or go to MikeToledoPDRtraining.com. You can go there directly. Mike is spelled with a Y. Anyhow, let's get into this, right? So I'm going to put these away right here. We're going to talk about these handles. We're going to talk about the tool tips, right? So I'm just going to talk about 2 tools today. We'll do more tools later on. It's kind of like a live review as well. So let's talk about, here's one. This is called Carl Stuckey light, right? So this is what we call is a kind of a hybrid, right? So you have thin lines here, and then you have fog and different colors of the fog too as well. You got warm and cool. And you can turn that off too as well by hitting these switches, right? And doing that. I prefer, for me, warm, right? So let me show you what it looks like. Because so you see the dents right there in the lines, right? Let's go fog. Okay, I'm going to roll down a little bit. It's not quite showing me that angle because I need to go a little bit further. Oh, let's do that one, okay? There you go. So there's a crease right there. I'm trying not to shake the camera, guys, sorry. And watch the lines, okay? So there's how's the fog looks, right? You look on the edge. And then lines is the curvature. See that? So that's the difference. Lines, and those are thin lines, by the way. So that means the dents are very small, and we're looking for detail. Right, I'm going to do this. I'm going to switch this board right here. Like, look at the thickness of the lines, right? So there's thin lines, right? Those are actually 1/4 inch. Now these are 1/2 inch. See, what 1/2 inch is good and bad, and in its own way, right? It's good for starting big damage, but not good for finishing, because you need, look at all the detail that you'll miss as the little lines, smaller lines pick up. And that's medium. That's medium, that's 1/4 inch, right? And that's 1/2 inch. That's 1/8 inch lines. So that's the smallest lines you get, right? So that picks up all the detail. Let's do fog again. Let's see if I can get something. Okay, yeah. So we're going to get into the chewy department, right? You see the fog right there? It picks up that chewiness, right? Watch the lines, okay? The fog is like, all right, it separates it pretty good just by looking at fog. I can tell what's high, what's low. But when you get into the really thin lines, right, it's going to show you everything at once. Sorry, guys, I'm trying to balance it. It's going to show you almost too much at once. So this is the difference between fog and lines. If you are a tech that's trying to learn one or the other, I would definitely set something up like this, like a hybrid board, you know, where it's 1/2 lines and 1/2 fog, or do this one, the Stuckey one, right? Stuckey has different versions, and he's got a full line one too as well. This is a cool board too, right? So completely cordless, and kind of cordless. Yeah, cordless. This is the Black Widow stand right there. So reflections, right? Reflections. If you're really on the cheap, right, you might want to use a reflection board. And look, you can still see a lot of detail in these boards if you want. They have fog ones too as well. This is the new wider version that we use out in the field. Really, really good for dealership work, wholesale work, just on the fly stuff. This one is our 1/8 inch version. Here's the dent right there, right? And then there you go right there. It's like, that shows that detail. On the back side is the price guide, right? So we show the customer, you know, what our costs are based on the size, we mark it and things like that. So one more thing, okay? Because I'm just kind of giving you a quick intro into reflections. The more you move the board, look, I can replicate that 1/2 inch board by, well, of course it's so dark right now, but I could bring it in, right? And it'll make the lines thicker, right? So if I brought this in, actually I'm just gonna do this. I'll just switch to the 1/2 inch, right? That would be like bringing your board in. This would be like moving your board outward, all right? So if you move your board outward, you'll get more finer detail. If you move your board in, you'll get less detail, but less confusion too. So, but you can hide your pushing point of your tool, which is very bad, because you'll be creating lots of high spots, right? So just a little more insight on that. Okay. Where you can get some of these lights, that's a custom ultra wide light. I think they've got that version, but longer. This is a Carbon Tech Black Widow carbon fiber stand for your hail lights, or, you know, and that's a little magnetic, not little, but it's a magnetic system, right? That will marry your lights to this and move it very easy, like really easy, right? And it stays. StuckyTools.com, really good one. And then you've got the Elimident light, okay? So one thing about the Elimident light, you got one benefit is that you can actually have this lid that comes off, and you can slide your lens, and then there you can switch your lenses to any size you want to as well. You'll hear in one of my videos at least some siren going on because I'm near the police station or fire station, so pardon the noise in the background. All right, so let's get to it. I think what we want to do is, which reflection should we use? Should we use this one or this one? Well, we got to make a dent, right? Okay, let's do that. Let's go right there. All right. Yeah, I was like, you know what? I haven't done a video in a long time. I might as well come over here. And I had to do some work here anyways. I might as well just knock out a video. What's up? Moises? I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it. Moises or Moses? Just spelled different. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna switch this right here. I'm just double checking where I should go. Okay, yeah. I should make a little bit of a sharper dent, but we'll just do the warm up right now. Okay, so here's the fog, right? Here's the lines. So lines, we're going to use the curvature. Fog, you use the contrast. Okay, so that's how that works. My hands don't shake. Well, they shake just as well as any young guy, but you know, these dang freaking, there's no stabilization engaged when you're doing YouTube lives when you're using your phone. So apologize about that. So there you go. Okay. Moses is correct. Okay, cool. You know, my last name's Toledo, right? And I don't speak any Spanish, but I got one of my techs, he's Spanish. He don't look Spanish, but he speaks Spanish. It's funny, all right? Okay, there we go. So right now we're using a simple chain, right? And what I'd like to do is show you, you know, let's use a tool like this, right? Now, this tool I wouldn't recommend. I personally wouldn't recommend using this tool right off the bat, and you wonder why, right? It's because if you look at that, right, it's quite sharp on the edges, right? Especially on the top. What up, Miguel? If you push and you don't have thin enough reflection or your board's not positioned right, you are going to pock the heck, or even worse, poke the paint. So you got to be very careful when you're using something like this. All right. Let's show you how I use it. Okay. I'm going to be very careful myself. Now, personally, this wouldn't be my first tool because I'd probably grab a soft tip and just have it pushed up in two pushes. But let's go talk about this tool. But it is a great finishing tool. It's a great aluminum tip tool. It is a fantastic, and I have the bigger brother of that. Going to the handles though, most people don't realize, right? Let me get my stance, that way I can talk to you guys easier. Where the heck is it? Okay, let's do that. All right, so let's do this. So most people don't understand about this stand, this handle, right? A lot of people didn't know that these handles are an accessory to the normal handle that it has. As long as you have the hollowed out part, and this is a Dent Craft handle. Look at that. So I was wondering why they always kept it open in. Now, I've known about this for a couple years. Believe it or not, these have been around for over a decade or 15, 20 years, the way they do these. I didn't know. Look at the freaking, if you want to really twist, now it's probably going to be ideal for this thin of gauge steel, but bigger handles, or excuse me, bigger dents, bigger diameters of tools, you're going to definitely like to use this. You can actually make it a L shape or T shape, but it's fantastic. So keep that in mind when you're looking at Dent Craft tools, and get the accessory for the extension, the handle extension. It's really good. So what I want to do is I'm going to place this right on the top hole, and we're going to see how this pushes. I'm going to give you some feedback. And then I'll show you, I'm sure some of you guys want to, let's do a little bit of, how about let's do a little bit of, trying to get here. Let's see. Let me get a position for you guys. So I know you want fog. Some of you guys do. How about, how about right there? I think that works for right now, because that way you guys can, half of you, I'll do one in fog, one in lines, like that. So I'm going to be pushing technically with the side of it if I can, because that'll be a little bit more easier. That's why I like this tool. This is a very, very good tool. It's Big Brother I used a lot, and I picked this small one up over there at the Anson, so it's really good. All right, I will try to I don't want to embarrass myself, Miguel. You know I can't speak any Spanish. All right, so I'm going to be pushing from the outside just a little bit. I want to do a meet and greet with my tool. Anytime I get a new tool to push with, I'm actually going to just test it, right? I want to see what it feels like on the outside. And don't be memeing me, everybody. I know what you guys are thinking. So, okay, I am pushing now with the front part, the top of the diameter of that tool, right? I'm pushing like this now. I was trying to do it this way, I just wasn't getting the quite feedback I wanted to for this particular push. So I wanted to push it directly like that. I like it so far. It's working pretty good. And hand placement, my voice went out. Underneath is going to be crucial. I'll show you what I mean by that, how I like to position the hand. Now, see, I won't go very aggressive towards the center, because this is a smaller tool tip, right? So I need to gather some more metal. And that's how I like to. And then once that center is good enough for me to push, I will put it to sleep. Now, right now, I'm holding my push, just trying to see how it's looking. All right, now I'm going to switch, just to give you a little bit now insight of the lines, okay? There's the lines. Now you see that one. How about, dang, this camera sucks today, man. I don't know, sorry guys, I'm just really bummed that. Usually I like, there, okay. Got it more in the center. I'm looking more at the dark line. And that's how we'll push it. Jesse Walker, what's up? Okay. Working from the outside, controlling the pressure, controlling the metal flow. I like this tool. I don't know what it is. I don't know what the model is on this one. When you purchase things, it's not going to have a model. You just feel it, grab it, buy it. All right. So yes, I'm controlling the top of that area. I'm using the curvature of the lines, right, to see. I know that center inside is white. That's the deepest part. I'm shrinking metal towards that center, but not quite pushing the center yet, all right? It's kind of like a metal flow with dough, right? If you squeeze or push some certain way, right, you're trying to knead the dough, it squishes out somewhere, and that's kind of, okay. Yeah, I get a phone call and it interrupts, so YouTube is, everything else ignores it. All right, so here we go. We're gonna push from the right. I'm gonna show you what the tool looks like in a minute underneath. And see, this tool, you don't really need to change it. If you're a veteran tech or if you're a tech that's experienced enough to understand, that's the whole point, making sure that you're not gonna poke the metal prematurely, shall I say, because sometimes it does happen, but it's not something that's irreversible. All right, so that is a little bit sharp on that tip right there. I'm going to side load it just a bit too. Yeah, it's a very, very good tool, man. I like it a lot. So if you guys are interested in this tool, I'm going to show you guys what it looks like underneath. This is the Dent Craft. Pull this back. If you see lots of waves and stuff, this is my demo panel, so it's got lots of big dents on it before. Other than that, let me show you. Some people like to know, well, how do you hold it? What are you doing? How do you position the tool? I'll show you. Okay. Let's see. Let me turn my. Right. I'm gonna make sure. There. That way. So my hand is like this, right? And my hand holding the tip of that, the base, keeping my hand up here so the tool doesn't go like this, right? So it doesn't slip. And that's how I like to position, keep control. Otherwise, if you are doing this, it's a very good chance that you're going to, without putting your hand in there, it's likely it's going to slip. Now, some people say, well, how come you can't put your hand in every panel? No, but you have to learn the master of balancing, right? Or the tool tip, what you're using first. Like, is it too slippery? Do you need to put tape? Do you need to switch the tool entirely? Like, you have to understand what that tool's doing and how to keep that tool balanced and level, and that. So that's basically how I'm positioning it. Again, this tool, I personally think it's for veterans or technicians who really know what they're doing. So this isn't like a beginner's tool. I do not recommend at all. Like that. Not that it's not a good tool. Let's see. Let's go a different tool. Let's go a little sharper dent. And we're going to use this one. So I picked up this one right here. Now it's another nasty sharp tip that can really do some damage. Is this a beginner tool? Absolutely not. right? It's a tool for I would use for sharp aluminum dents. I would use it for sound deadening, like you need to bite through it, and finishing. That's what its purpose is for me. You can side load though. You can get to a dent and push with the side of it like this, right? And then once you get it to its core of a smaller area, then you can start pinching and pushing with this tip right here. I really do like this. And this is a 3/8 diameter tool. Oh no, it might be, is this 3/8? No, this is quarter. No, it's quarter. Sorry, I apologize. This is a 1/4 inch diameter and it is strong. It does have some slight flexing, but probably the least flexing I've ever seen in a 3/8 tool from any tool manufacturer. So Dentcraft makes some very, very strong 1/4 inch and 3/8 diameters if you are looking for very strong tools like that. So let's make another dent, right? Let's, this ain't gonna be like a big dent. This is just gonna be, this is again, finishing dent right here. So I'm gonna go right here. Yep, let's do that. We're gonna do this one. Oh, by the way, paddle tip, this thing is called the Fatty. And you can get this at, Willy Quick. That's a sharp dent. Very, very sharp dent. Most people, what they do is they start off way too soft in the beginning because they could really overstretch that. Lines. Foggy. A little bit fog on the outside, right? That's for your finishing technique, I think. Ooh, look at that. Look at that. Okay, so let's see what we can do. Let's see which guys you want. Let's do this one again. Wait, I think that's good right there. No, too far. You want that like contrast, like 50-50, right? There you go. I am going to start, just in case you're joining me. All right, we're going to start with this tool. I'm going to try to side load it first so I don't chew it up. But this is why I got this tool. And I don't have an aluminum panel in front of me right now, but if I did, this would be a great tool for that. All right, so I'm going to show you too afterwards how I'm holding it because it's really cool. I'm completely side loading it. So just to let you know, I'm pushing with the shoulders of it, right? Like this, right? And then as that dent gets smaller, I'll start turning that tool and start using that tip. That's why I like this tool. It's one of the reasons. I got this at AnsonPDR.com, so you can go check them out. Oh yeah, this thing. See, one thing you got to think about is like that is like a heel of a tool, and it's a soft. It's soft pushing the majority of the dent up really quick and clean. Now, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the tip like this, right? You can still see that nice contrast through there. I can see my tip the whole time. Really, really nice. I'm still following my own rule. I'm bringing metal from the outside, make sure I got as much. It's kind of like filling up a hole with dirt, right? If you got still dirt on the outside, you're never gonna be able to get that hole filled flat, right? And that's, I keep saying right, sorry. And that is why metal flow is so important to understand. Now I'm almost practically pushing with the tip. Now I'm straight on with the tip. I'm letting the tip get right in that center of that low. Now I don't recommend this ladies and gentlemen, if you don't, you would I'd recommend using heat for most everybody out there. You know, this isn't like, this tool ain't gonna friggin' save you from cracking paint. Let's put it that way. I'm gonna look for my torch here. Here it is. So the torch or heat, right? Don't torch the paint, but I don't want that paint distorted. Okay. Heck yeah. There we go. It's nice and warm. If you guys want to know about like how hot do you think it is, it's probably 120 right now, 125, 120, 130. Oh, I like that tool. Oops. Didn't mean to bump your view. And with center pits, 95% of the time you got to raise it up, right? You still see a little bit. We'll open it up a bit, okay? This is very important that we like to do. This is a tap down tip that I'm using. It's called the Galaxy, and the Guardian caps that go on it. That's from Anson. These are the peak ones. This is the VIP base. Love it. Open up that perimeter. You don't want to get too aggressive on sharp tools. Let it do its job. Let it get there. Bring it up. And then I like to bring it down, just so it'll cooperate again on the next series. Oops, sorry. Bring it up. Now, what I do like to use is metal tap downs too. So I actually just got a new Glexo tap down. Let me grab it. Let's see how it works. New Glexo tap down. Now this hood is flimsy as a mofo, man. This is it. I want to see it. Still got a little bit there. I'm gonna move the board in just a hair. Okay. Let's see what we're looking at here. Oh, now we're gonna use lines. Okay, fine. We'll just use lines. So let me point something out here, right? A little bit of low, a little bit of that edging right there. I'll probably open up with the plastic. I just don't want to mark the paint. Metal tap downs are good, but they are good for certain applications and not flimsy hoods. All right. Come back in here and finish this little bit right there. Yeah. I'll move to fog in a second, guys. That way you guys can see that too. Just make sure we're on the same spot here. Right here, okay? that's why we knock down, open up, knock down, repeat again. This tool's fantastic. I really like the tool. I like them both. Let me tap down too a little bit. All right, got that pit out. Now, if you want to go less invasive, you put a cap on this thing, and then you can tap it down there. I don't think that was it right here, but I'll tap down anyway. I think you guys get the point, right? Let me tap down harder, actually. It looks still obvious. That's what I got. Because I don't want to put micro lows in it with this flimsy tap down. I mean, flimsy hood. How about this? Now, I don't know if you guys used this before, but this thing's freaking ridiculous. It's really good. This thing. It's called the metal morph tip. You can push with it, and you can tap with it. It taps really nice and linear. What I mean by that is like it's consistent. Right? It can hit little wider spots without you worrying about, you know, making poke marks or push marks in the from the top. Tap down marks. And that's basically how you do sharp dents. So you can see it's a little bit wavy there because the board needs to go with the direction of those dents. But that's for another story. Actually, that's all explained as well on Dent Trainer. So I'm La Mesa and want to get a dent out of my quarter. What are your rates? I understand it'll be a rough estimate, but curious. I have to see it. That'd be like shooting in the dark, but my pricing starts at $195. But you're more than welcome to send me some photos. You can text them directly, 858-943-9676, or just go to the site, denttime.com. So anyways, guys, I hope you guys thought this was a little bit helpful in how I use the tool. Oh, I was going to show you exactly how I was pushing with that. Hold on a second, okay? I do want to keep my word. Let's see. So it was this one, right? So we're going to just, boy, YouTube is really crappy with their friggin' focusing lately. And me hitting it. Appreciate you guys being patient today. I'm not on my game today. Let's double check. Okay, yeah, so I was starting like this and pushing down. Having the finger here in place. As that dent was coming up and getting more smaller, my tool tip was changing because it was getting more tool contact of the tip. Was changing because I wanted to get a little bit more sharper until it was absolutely straight up and down on the sharpest point of that tool. Okay, so I hope that that really helps you guys out a lot. Other than that, all right, my name is Mike Toledo. Check us out, denttime.com. If you're interested in PDR training, go to denttrainer.com. Thanks a lot, guys. I'll talk to you guys later and have a good Memorial weekend. See ya.